Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is doing good. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Mission for Mental Health. I'm your host, Jackie Robinson. I am excited to be here today, y'all. It has truly been one of those days. It's been so much of one of those days that your girl she had to pour a glass. It's been a minute since I had to pour a glass, but your girl had to pour a glass, y'all. It's been one of those days. It's just been. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be with you guys and kick it with y'all for this next hour. I know you guys are gonna love my guest that I have tonight. I love her. I've been waiting to get her on my show, so I'm glad that she's here. I'm not ignoring you guys. I am just really trying to pull up all her accolades and all that good stuff, but I'm not going to tell it to you guys until I get her on the screen. So I was just trying to let a few more people jump into the room, and I forgot to close my door. So let me look. I'm not trying to be rude. I know you guys are like, this girl is so unorganized. She really is not. But the last thing y'all want to hear is my dog barking, because that's gonna happen. My mama calling me for something. Probably turn her cable back on, because that's gonna happen. And ain't no telling what else is gonna happen up in this house. So I'm gonna get my baby girl to come close the door, because I forgot to do it. I was so eager trying to get this bottle open, y'all, that I forgot to close the door. So let me get back to the business at hand. And so, yeah, so I'm so happy to be here. I know you guys saw my flyer. I'm still running my coat drive. It's going okay. It's not as great as I want it to be, but, I'm pretty certain that the next time I do this, I will be a little bit more organized with it and have it more together. So it's coming along, but it's coming along slow. So any of you that are out there, if you do have any new or gently used coats that you want to give me, to donate to the homeless the first week of October, let me know. I was also thinking about taking some over to Gateway. So, my partner in crime, Dana, she has Hungry Hearts, and she is feeding for Thanksgiving. So I was thinking about maybe taking some down there. Hadn't really decided just yet, but I do know y'all saw a lady this morning, not this morning, yesterday afternoon, when it was really cold. We're out here in Georgia. So those of you that are on other parts of the country may not relate to this right now, but I saw this lady standing in the middle of the street asking for money, but she was just shivering. So I know that these coats will come in handy. So if you guys do have any coats gently used or new coats you want to donate, all you got to do is call me, y'all. My name is on the flyer. I post it on my social media, and I'll swing by and pick them up. Okay. All right. So moving on. Let me bring on my guest, Erika. Man, I'm so excited. Erika actually, you know what? Let me stop talking about it. Let me just bring her on. I can't take it. Let me just bring her on. Let me just bring her on. Erika, are you there, Erika? Can you hear me?
I am here. I can hear you.
Good. We was having that little technical difficulty thing. My microphone, the devil is alive, boy. Don't be trying to mess up my little gig microphone tripping, but I got it going on now, so it is working. You look fabulous. So Erika is a young lady that reached out to me. Either I reached out to her or she reached out to me. Erika, I can't remember how this came about, but we were introduced through a mutual friend of ours. I don't know. She's going to have to jump in the comments and let me know if I can shout her out or not. I don't know if she wants me to say her name like that, but we have a mutual friend that hooked us up, that brought us together. And we had some great conversations. I shared my story with you, and, you were real receptive, and you were telling me everything that you were doing, and, wanted to come on. And so I'm glad. It's been a couple months, but I finally, look, y'all, I finally got y'all some professionals on the show. Woo, 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 woo. I got y'all a professional. I know y'all probably like, this girl don't know nobody with a license. She got all this advice she want to give. She don't know nobody.
You wide open now. The lane is open just for you.
Yeah, they probably, she don't know nobody with a license, but I do. So let me tell y'all about Erika Young. I know you guys see her licensed professional counseling right after her name. So this is Erika Young. Let me read her bio to you all. Just so you all know, I ain't playing. So I did put on my my specs, the big ones, so I can see. Because when you ask somebody to come on your show and you tell them to send you a professional picture and a bio, and it's like Erika's, she professional, baby. All right. Erika Young is a licensed professional counselor for the state of Georgia. She obtained her bachelor's degree in psychology from Georgia State University and her degree in mental health counseling from Capella University. She holds certifications in trauma and meditation. Woosah. She gonna get y'all chakras in line. Erika has worked in several areas of mental health, including but not limited to couples therapy. Is it ACT team or ACT team?
ACT team. Mm-hmm.
And school-based therapy. So she's gonna have to explain what all that is to us, y'all, because we don't know. She opened her doors to her virtual private practice in April 2021. She desires to change counseling. Desires to change counseling as a holistic wellness practice. Practice committed to providing holistic therapy that encourages Black women to heal their minds, their bodies, and souls, stemming from inner childhood traumas that have caused anxiety, depression, and stress. Look, y'all, I brought y'all a boss on today, y'all. I brought y'all a boss on today. Erika prefers the combination of traditional therapy approaches and eccentric practices like meditation and energy healing to promote total body healing. Erika has made several appearances. I told y'all, I brought y'all a boss. I didn't just bring y'all a nobody. Erika has made several guest appearances on podcasts to include Sugar and Dee Rim. And what's that? Babesonlyfun? Babes Only Fun. Babes Only Fun. We're going to check those out, y'all. Let's shout them out right quick. Sugar and Dee Rim. Sugar and Dee Rim and Babes Only Fun. Y'all check those out. Check those out. I'm going to check them out too. She was recently featured on Voyage ATL Magazine. I put all of her contacts in the bio. So if you need to if you feel the need to reach out to her after our conversation, just go on there and click on all her links. You can see her in her magazine. You can reach her on social media. You can reach her however you choose to reach her. But trust and believe, you can reach out to Erika. So y'all give Erika some hand claps. Because, baby, that was a bio. That was a bio.
Thank you for the intro.
Thank you for coming. I'm so excited. So I had to today was just one of those days where just felt kind of, I don't know, just weird. Just one of those weird days. Yeah. So I know that is this considered holistic healing?
Wine is not considered holistic healing. However, it serves its purpose, right?
It serves its purpose.
As long as we're not overdoing it.
Yes.
Moderation is key, right?
Yes. Look, you already getting folks that know you. Listen, look at that. Already. That's my therapist.
Are we in the building?
Do I need to throw a snap on that? That's my therapist. That's my therapist, boo. Yes. Yes. So, Erika, tell me, this is a mental health show. And so the reason why I brought you on is because I did want people to learn a little bit more on the technical side about what mental health and mental illness is, and what are some of the ways that you can cope with it? Because apparently this is a lifelong thing that you got to deal with, correct?
Yeah. So in some cases.
Some cases. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about, mental health and mental illness, what it is.
Well, mental health is your state of mind, right? And so everything dealing with the brain, your mindset, how you feel, your emotional well-being. It also includes your social well-being, your intellectual, your financial. And so when we talk about mental illness, what's happening is a lot of times our body goes into crisis. And so we end up in spaces where we're overly stressed, anxiety, depression, some type of mood disorders or personality disorders. And our body has basically ran out of coping skills. And this is how this is where the term crisis comes from, or trauma comes from. And so now we're needing a professional, or we're needing some type of healthy support system to help us kind of realign our mental health.
Right. So how did you get started with it? What made you say, when I grow up, I want to be a therapist? What made you get involved in this type of work?
So
it's got to be a lot, right?
It can be a lot. But what's interesting is I did not grow up saying I wanted to be a mental health therapist. And normally most people, you don't hear most kids say, oh, I want to be a mental health therapist. So I do know that this was chosen by God. This was not my chosen field. My chosen field was to be a neonatologist. I just knew I was going to go work in the hospital. And then life lifed, right? And so I was taken down a different path. I ended up being a 911 operator for 9 years for the DeKalb County Police Department. And so that was my first touch of crisis, right? So I was on the very front line of other people's crises. And so while I was at 911, I was doing my bachelor's in psychology. Once I graduated, I had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted to go and get my master's. And I know this might sound funny, but I called Capella and I spoke to one of the advisors and he gave me like a little quiz. And at the time I knew I wanted to work with kids. I wanted to, at some point in time, create a home where kids can come and do fun activities. They can just kind of escape from home. Something like a Boys and Girls Club.
Right. Which is still needed. So needed.
Very much. Very, very much so. And at the end of this quiz, the advisor determined that I would be good for the mental health field. And so I said, okay. All I'm thinking is, I want to work with kids.
Right.
Right. So I get in there. I get my master's. I do start working with kids. I actually started with HIV and AIDS nonprofit. And I worked with kids along the way. I did school-based therapy. I worked at another private practice where I was able to work with families and couples. Right. And then along the path, you start to kind of, you kind of trim off what it is you want to do, right?
Right.
So this may work for me, but this may not work for me. And then eventually it was, okay, I'm a Black woman. I know all about being a Black woman. Right. Where will I be of most service? And where I love kids, I have kids. I have 3 kids of my own.
Right.
19, 17, and 8. But I decided that.
Oh, wait, hold it. Pause. You thought you was going to slip that in? I wasn't going to catch that?
I tried. I really tried.
19, 17, and what?
8.
Okay, go ahead. Don't feel bad. I got the same thing. My oldest, he'll be 33 this year, and I got a 14-year-old running around here, so I get it. Go ahead.
And so I decided that Black women would be where I would be the most helpful. Right. I could do the most work. And I know what it looks like to be a Black woman in the career place. I know what it looks like to be a Black woman and raising kids while in the career place. I know what it looks like to be a Black woman and be married and to be dating and to have a social life and trying to balance all of these things. And so I just knew that I would be the most help in that arena.
Right. Right. Awesome. Yeah. Cause, I truly do relate. I too was a DeKalb County police officer, and it's so funny because I try to listen to your voice to see if I can remember hearing you on the radio, because that's how I know my radio operators. Right. I never know how they look, but I know how they sound. So I can close my eyes and I can hear my traffic, my radio traffic. So I understand what it's like to you are definitely like the first responder, because you get the first interaction with someone in crisis, and then you send us out there to deal with them. So I understand how how that can go together, and especially in DeKalb County with the diverse community, and in on certain parts of DeKalb County where it's mostly African American, I can truly relate to dealing with women going through every single thing. And like you mentioned, everything that I've been through, to be honest. Yeah, I know what it's like to have kids. I know what it's like to have been married. I know what it's like to have to go to work. I understand them stressors. I've had to date before, so I get all those stressors. Yeah. So is your practice you said that you have a private practice now, a virtual private practice. Do you only take in women, or do you take in other patients as well?
I only take Black women, ages 18 to 40.
18.
I do take 17-year-olds as well, transitioning from high school to college.
Okay.
And I have a special program for college girls.
What caused that cutoff at 40?
Just for right now, what I'm seeing, and it does go over 40, up to 45, but for the most part 40. But from what I'm seeing is most people my age, there's a space where we're trying to fit in this new age, and it's like we're tugging from what we learned as children and teenagers and adults in, I guess, what is now termed the old school. I don't mean to age us, but
it is.
That's what I used to say. The old school. And so it almost looks like some of us are. I don't like to use the word stuck because that's an illusion, but it's like we're stuck and we're trying to figure out a good balance. How do we intertwine these new age ideas, right, with the things that we learned? And so one of the things I'm doing right now is helping women to navigate that, right? Even with parenting, right? Because the new parenting style, the gentle parenting, because we were not gentle parented at all, right?
And I didn't gentle parent.
And our kids, I didn't gentle parent for a long time. And now
I gentle parent the 14-year-old. I did not gentle parent the other ones, the older ones. But the 14-year-old is a gentle parented kid. She gets away with a lot.
So you see the gap. And so right now I'm seeing where there is a big gap, and not only with parenting, but with our belief systems, right? So the belief systems that we had as children and as teenagers that we no longer need now as adults. And we're learning to pull away from those belief systems and learning to create new ones.
What's an example of old belief system that you're seeing that, apparently they're in their 30s and 40s. With 50s, I guess we are already done. What is the belief system that you're trying to get us to navigate from?
Well, of course, the belief systems range. They also, differ among the individual. But for the most part, it's really how we were parented, right? So we were parented in a way where you didn't express your emotions. You didn't talk about certain things outside of the home, right? So a lot of us didn't grow up with a voice. And so now we're coming out into our career fields and we're trying to figure out how to navigate communication. I don't even know how to talk to my boss. I don't know how to speak to my coworkers. I don't know what boundaries look like. And so we're breaking down those inner childhood wounds, and we're creating new experiences.
Okay. I had a episode on 2 weeks ago with Gen Zers, and I have one coming on. I'm bringing them back. I'm bringing the Gen Zers and the millennials back next week. And this was a huge discussion that we had with my Gen Zer about the way I parent and the way when she has a child, when she's going to parent, or just because now she's in her early 20s, I think she's a little bit on her own, little independent, but she talked about how, not being able to express. and how that has affected her mental health later on in life because she doesn't know how to express. And a lot of us don't really know how to express. We know how to express in, in angry manner. We know how to cuss you out real good. Like we know how to lay them paws on you, and we
Exactly.
talked about that. We talked about that. And some of the comments were, most of the people who watch my show are around my age, didn't agree with her. They felt, what worked for me should work for you. But what she was saying is what worked for me is not going to work for her because her outside influences totally different from what I had or what her parents had. We didn't have social media and all that. We didn't have Insta nothing.
Yeah,
except a microwave. So how does that tie into the type of treatments that you like to use? So now you're dealing with these women between 18 and 40 years old, possibly up to 45. Because I'm sure if you get them at 40, you ain't kicking them off just because girl, you had a birthday, gotta go.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Girl, you had a birthday, gotta go.
Doors are open.
So what type of how does it work? Like, how do we fix this problem? Like, what we doing here?
That's a great question. How does it work? Right. So typically, and I'll do it from a standpoint from my practice, but typically when a client comes in, first we do like an intake and we talk about what's going on with them personally. But a lot of times the base issue is emotions, right? Feelings. We don't know what they are. Believe it or not, most adults cannot tell you how they feel, right? In feeling words. Besides, I'm angry. That's our favorite one.
I'm sorry, yeah, but angry Black woman, or
not necessarily an angry Black woman, but most people, even kids, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm happy, right? But what about I'm content, I'm confused, I'm elated, right? And so a lot of us don't know emotions. We don't know those feeling words. And so we do a lot of emotional tie-ins. We start with cognitive behavioral therapy, right? We start with the mind. What's going on up there? What kind of thoughts are we having? What thoughts are promoting our feelings, which promote our behaviors, right? It promotes the way we act out. It promotes the way we don't act out, right? And so we start from that standpoint. Once we start to break all of that down, we get to what the core belief systems that we have built are. Then we do things like affirmations. We do a lot of journaling, My clients know I'm going to write it out, write it out, write it out. It's better to write it out than to have it appear, right? So when it's up here, it's just floating. And we have no way of stopping it. We don't know how to filter it. We don't know how to actually put a question mark on it and then answer it. But when we write it out, we start to see the process of how we think. And so
you're just writing the thoughts that are in your head, even though they don't make sense?
You're writing the thoughts that are in your head. You're writing the feelings that you're feeling. You're writing about the scenarios or the experiences that you've just had. They write about their topics that we talk about in counseling. They write out their to-do list. We write out everything. But we start from the thoughts, the feelings, and the behaviors.
Right.
And then other interventions that I include are the energy healing, right? So we talk about how our mind is affecting us physically, right? And I know you were laughing when you said get them chakras aligned.
Yeah,
but that's a real thing, right?
Is that a real thing? Is that a thing?
Definitely. So your chakras are energy points. So you have your root chakra, which is your foundation, that's your back, your spine, your tailbone, feet, knees, ankles. Then you have your sacral chakra, which is your hip area, genitalia area. Then you have your solar plexus, which is above your belly button, which includes your abdomen. And then you have your heart chakra. Then you have your throat chakra. Then you have your third eye chakra. And then you have your crown. Right.
Oh, so this is a real thing, huh?
It's absolutely a real thing. And I love to do energy alignment on you if you're open to it.
On me?
Absolutely.
Sure.
And so we talk about what we're eating. We talk about what we are intaking in our environment, in our external environment. So what we're watching, who we're interacting with, what we're opening ourselves up to, who we're opening ourselves up to, what kind of energy that we are around.
Yes.
And because all of that matters. All of that absolutely matters. And so these are ways to get your chakras back aligned so your energy points can become unbalanced, right? So let's say your home, right? Your home is your foundation, right? If something happens to your home in a tornado, now your foundation is rocky.
Gone.
Right? And so in the energy environment, spiritual environment, we'll say that your root chakra is now unbalanced, right? How do we get that back balanced when you have a home to put back together, right? What can you do in the interim? So you can do things like meditation, right? Grounding yourself, walking outside with bare feet on the ground, kind of digging your feet into the dirt, right? It's a real thing.
Girl, my mama would, if my mama heard you right now, you be in a world
Oh,
of her. You know she didn't let me go outside without shoes on my feet.
You don't go outside. You not go outside with your shoes off. Okay. I absolutely know. My grandmother's the same way. But now I know that connection to me and the earth is real. It really it aligns us, right? You ever put your feet on cold ground and say, oh. It's like your air is instantly restored, right? Go outside, go running, right? Run any type of movement, dance, singing, exercise is great for depression. It's great for rebalancing because you're restoring your energy.
Right.
Binaural beats. So those are sounds. And you can go on YouTube and search binaural beats.
What are they called again?
Binaural beats. BINAURAL. And they're essentially frequencies, right? So you have two different frequencies playing in one ear. You will wear your headphones. Your brain. BINAURAL.
You said that's a Amazon thing.
You go on YouTube. And so these frequencies are playing. So you have two different frequencies in each ear. Your brain creates the third frequency, and it essentially balances you out. It helps you get good rest. It decreases anxiety. It lowers your depressive symptoms. It can actually heal you physically. So the thing is, though, when it comes to energy work, the word here is consistency, right?
Yeah.
So what I explain to my clients is it's like taking an antibiotic, right?
Girl, you know how we do antibiotics. You don't act like you know how Black folks do antibiotics. Exactly. We ain't taking that whole bottle. You know, we got to save some for later.
And essentially, sometimes it causes the issue, right? Because now we've stopped it too soon, and our body is not fully healed, right? And so that's the thing when it comes to energy work. We have to be consistent about it. Meditating for 10 minutes one time is not going to help clear overthinking, right? We have to consistently meditate. We have to become disciplined in meditation. So now we're learning how to calm ourselves, right? Our brain is actually learns how to respond in crisis, right? Just from you meditating. Your brain says, "Ooh, okay, this is crisis. What do we do next?" Versus, "This is crisis. I don't know what to do," right? So when we're consistent with our energy work and we're consistent with exercising or consistent with just being out in nature, consistent with our sound healing and our meditation, our breath work, we are consistently healing ourselves, even when nothing is wrong. And that's what I try to get people to understand. Right. You have to do this even when you feel you're okay, you're grounded, you're in alignment, you're happy, you're excited. You still want to do your work because your body is always in a constant space of healing.
So is this considered holistic? Is that considered holistic
Absolutely.
medicine? So I did do a little digging just to see for myself. And I found this little statement right here, and it says holistic medicine is a form of healing that considers the whole person, body, mind, spirit, and emotions.
Yes, absolutely.
And then it says it considers all mental and social factors rather than just the present symptoms of a mental health disorder. It attempts to address the root cause of mental health struggles and heal the entire body.
Absolutely.
Do you agree with that? Does that
Oh yeah.
sound about
That's
right?
on point. 100%.
So how would a person that has um a little bit more severe mental health, like psychosis or schizophrenia or paranoid schizophrenia, would
Mhm.
they be a candidate for holistic healing, or are they just on the, you just need medication?
They are absolutely a candidate for holistic healing. These types of practices, again, you're constantly healing your body, right? And so these are ways to help them manage their emotions, right? You're learning to look at what's reality, right? And what may not be reality. Um, is it a bit more difficult for them? It is. But when you have a healthy support system, you have someone consistently to work with,
Hmm.
it makes it a little bit easier. They are still depending on the diagnosis and depending on the intensity of the symptoms. They are still candidates for medication. But even a psychiatrist will tell you, don't take this medication without seeing a therapist because
Correct.
you need the behavior interventions to go with the medication. You need to know how to heal your body besides using the medication. The
Right.
medication helps to helps the chemicals in the brain. But what about my mind? What about my heart? What about these things that have happened to me? How do I deal with the memories? How do I deal with the constant? Because some people are in a constant environment of
Right.
struggle. How
Right.
do I deal with those? So they are definitely a candidate for holistic
Right.
uh, mental health.
I noticed that new age, I mean, mental health is still a stigma. It's still hard to get people to talk about it. But what I have noticed lately is that people are wanting to talk about it a little bit more, but they are really looking at the holistic aspect of it, and alternative methods of healing.
Mhm.
And I've heard people wanting to use like crystals and things like that. Are you familiar with crystals, and how does that all play a part of healing? Because when I seen the crystals, I was like,
Oh,
okay, yeah.
don't disrespect my
Beyonce said Beyonce said something about these crystals, so maybe I should go get me some. I don't know. But when I got them, I'm like, let me
some
give these
people
to
look
you
at the
because I don't know
crystals
nothing
and
about this
say
stuff.
some people look at the crystals and say, look at these rocks, right?
Right. Like,
I'm offended.
don't be offended, because don't be offended to something I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? That's like, people say, "Oh, I don't like red wine. It's so nasty." Well, I'm just like, well, have you tried a good one? Let me find you a good one before you say that. So
Exactly.
same thing, and I guess I can say that because
Exactly. Have
I'm
you
on the
tried
red wine right now. But
crystals?
that's how I feel about the crystals. I don't know anything about them. Like, I don't know how is a rock supposed to heal me?
It's not a rock.
Sorry. I don't know. So
So,
can you talk about this stuff?
so crystals are an assistant, right? So it's not the crystal that's healing; it's the energy that you're putting into the crystal, right? So we have, I'll just the rose quartz crystal. If I knew, I would have pulled some crystals in with me. So the rose quartz is a pink crystal. It's supposed to be good for the heart chakra, right? That self-love. And so what you do is you put your intention in, right? It's like a prayer. You put your prayer in, you put your intention in and say, hey, this is what I want this to help me with, right? And people carry them around in their pocket. People carry them around in their purse, their cars, because it's the frequency that we're putting into the crystal, the vibration that the crystal is that's helping us to heal, that's helping us to keep in mind that these are the things that I want to promote. These are the things that I want to heal in my mind, in my body, in my soul.
Does it matter? Does each crystal mean something? Like,
yeah, each crystal means something. There's a lot of crystals that I couldn't even sit and name right now. And so even with the chakra points, there are certain crystals for each chakra point, to help promote those chakra points. And so like I said, the rose quartz for the heart. You have the amethyst, which is good for the third eye. That's your imagination. That's your intuition, your intuitiveness, your psychic powers. And so they help promote those energy points. But there's so many crystals. And I love my crystals. I take them with me everywhere
you go.
everywhere I go.
I like to read comments while we talk and see what people say.
Good.
One day they are going to create something where I don't have to keep doing this and doing this. Okay, let's see. Maisha says, I agree with the needing to have consistency. Spoke with my therapist that I need to get back on track with my gym time and taking my multivitamins. I believe that's what's been affecting my sleep in the past month. What do you think about gym time and multivitamins helping with sleep?
100% on point. So what we know about stress, right? Cortisol is related to stress. And so when we're overly stressed, our cortisol levels go up. Well, when you go to the gym and you exercise, you're releasing cortisol, right? Your cortisol levels come back down, which is why after a good gym session, you're ready to go to bed. You're gonna good, right?
I'm ready to go to bed when I first start. I don't do it.
That's funny.
It is true.
Sometimes absolutely. And I, for those who know me on here, I work out. I haven't worked out in the last month, but I work out 5 days a week, and it is my thing. It is my thing to keep my mental health together. It is my thing to keep my stress down. It is my thing to stay on track so I can stay consistent in life on my schedules, so I can keep my energy up. And essentially, that's what multivitamins are for, right? They help you with your energy. They help you keep your stress down, like the goalies, right? I know that was a thing for a minute there.
Oh, the apple cider gummy things? Yeah,
those are popular. And so multivitamins help you with sleep as well. One thing we do know, or I'll say one thing that I know as a therapist, if you're not sleeping, your whole life is probably unbalanced, right? Sleep is connected to so much. It's connected to how we eat, right? When we're not sleeping well, we're eating more. When we're not sleeping well, our emotions, our mood is low. We're irritable, right? You ever been around somebody who hasn't had enough sleep? They're irritated. They're agitated, right? And so
that's where this came from.
Absolutely.
Irritated, agitated.
Absolutely. And that happens too, right? So I'm gonna fill this need in with more wine, right? Thinking, oh, I just need to relax. The wine to help me. Now we're on our third cup of wine, which we know about 3 or 4 cups is a bottle.
Yeah,
right?
Then I'm drunk.
And now, exactly. And now we're doing that 4 or 5 times a week, not realizing now our body is really over the limit. And now we're more cranky because we're putting so much wine or liquor or beer in our system.
Right.
Or we're filling it up with unhealthy coping skills.
Right.
So again, the gym time promotes sleep. Multivitamins promote sleep. And so you should start feeling better. I didn't know who made that. Maisha.
Maisha, yeah, she has another comment too. Let's see.
Should start
5 days at the schoolhouse. So she's a teacher.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
girl's so funny.
Yeah.
5 days at the schoolhouse with those trifling adults. Don't have time for 5 days a week. My goal is 3 days a week. The vitamins were because I was severely anemic.
Mm-hmm.
So, but 3 days a week, I guess
3 days a week is
something
good.
is better than nothing, correct?
30 minutes. 30 minutes is good. I don't suggest anyone do what
you doing, right?
That's not my suggestion. But 30 minutes a day. I know y'all see the ads for the heart failure, heart disease, right? And they say just 30 minutes of walking per day will lower all of those symptoms, right? It will bring you back to health, a balanced health, faster than just sitting and drinking, sitting and smoking, sitting and doing nothing, sitting and sleeping.
Right. So let's talk about diet too.
Oh, that's key.
So how does diet, what we put in our mouth, the foods we put in our, how does that have an effect on our mental health, and does that affect our holistic healing? Since this is a holistic healing topic, does our diet contribute to it? I mean, I do. I mean, it's kind of not the best question to ask in the world, because we all know that, diet is a factor. An unhealthy diet is a factor to a lot of things. But how does an unhealthy diet affect our mental health?
And that's a great question. That's an awesome question.
Oh, okay, let me pat myself there. Give me some.
It's a great question. It's really about how much we're eating, right? So it doesn't matter if we're on a keto, if we're vegan, we're vegetarian, we have a regular diet. It's really about how much we're putting in our bodies. It's the overconsumption, right? So when I do my testimonies about my new body versus my old body, in that time I was waking up, I would drink sweet tea, I would have a Coke for lunch, I was eating candy for a snack after lunch, and then I would have one vegetable for dinner, right? Could you imagine what my body was? I was groggy. I was always sleepy. I was sad. I was full all the time. I just felt bloated, right?
Yeah.
This affects our mental health because it doesn't allow us clarity. We're foggy. Our minds are completely foggy. We can't make good decisions. We're unable to make good decisions, right? Because our minds are foggy. It makes us feel like, and this is one thing I see happening now, everyone thinks they have ADHD. ADHD
Are you talking about adults think they have it, or their children, or both?
Both, but a lot of adults.
Because we can't sit still. I hear grown people say it all the time. Oh, my ADHD, I got ADHD. I can't sit still. I can't concentrate. I can't think clearly. I can't read. I can't sit still at work. I'm irritated. The whole nine.
Can't focus. But I guarantee you, if a big portion of us changed our diet and was really mindful about what we put in our system, all of that to clear up. We have to think about too what they're putting in the foods, right? The chemicals that are going in the foods. I'm not gonna go all into that. We'll go back to holistic mental health. But things are going in the foods too that are also creating us to feel foggy, right? And so we want to make sure that we're eating the right portions, right? So instead of eating 3 cups of rice, 2 loaves of bread a day, how about we try a half a cup of rice, right? A yam and some vegetables. I tell a lot of people, wake up and eat spinach for breakfast. I can't even explain what that does. It's like a whole new life. I could see. Start off with some vegetables. End with some vegetables. Cut down your portions and watch the clarity. You will come to life. You will come to life. And I know a lot of people who say they don't eat meat. Clarity. I don't eat meat as well. Clarity happens almost instantly. You can tell. We are overfilled with meat. So you think about how long it takes meat to digest.
Right.
So you think about how we were raised, right? So you had a meat for breakfast, you had a meat for lunch, you had a meat for dinner.
Right.
And it takes 2, 3, 4 days, depending on the meat, to digest. And all of that is sitting in your intestines.
Right.
Your intestines, your solar plexus, is your second brain. Right.
So that's how that's affecting your mental.
That's your intuition. You can't feel anything. You can't feel when the person who comes up to you is toxic. That's the world's favorite word. That's not my favorite.
Yeah, that's our new thing. Yeah. Our new thing is can we just have a conversation? And I don't do that toxic energy.
But you will be able to feel it. Your solar plexus would be dinging the minute someone approaches you or something comes to you and it's not in alignment with where you are in life. And so if we paid more attention and were more mindful about what we eat and how much we eat, we will really have a lot of clarity. Our intuitions would be glowing.
So when you talk holistic healing, what are the main things that we have to look at when we're talking about holistic healing? What is it in a nutshell?
In terms of, give me a little bit more.
Like, so when we're saying we want to heal holistically, in a nutshell, we are saying we need to work on diet. We need to work on exercise. We need to work on what does it encompass? What is it all? The bottom line is, what does holistic healing encompass? If I come to see you and I say, I'm looking for holistic healing, I'm looking for someone to not give me a prescription or send me to go get a prescription. But I do have anxiety. I do have, bouts of depression or whatever, but I don't want the pill. In a nutshell, what would you say? Okay, great. We're going to work on your blah, 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 and blah.
Okay. So it starts with the mind, body, soul. And so we'll start with your thoughts, right? What are you thinking? What are your belief systems? How do you go about a normal day in your thought process? Then we're going to shift to those emotions. What is happening emotionally? Then depending on what's happening emotionally, that's where a lot of my interventions come in at. So we're going to write. We're going to meditate. We're going to do some energy healing. We're going to diet. Some people actually do come to me who need nutrition plans. And so we'll talk about nutrition and what we're eating. We'll talk about our environment. Again, what are we around, right? Who are we around? Some people, I have a lot of clients who come to me about work. Right? Work is a big stressor here in America, right? Yes. And so we talk about how to manage those environments. How do we manage our emotions in those environments? And then lastly, with the soul, that's the root, right? We're getting to the root. So we're going to do some inner child work. We're going to dig deep into what happened to you when you were a kid.
So let's talk about, we got some time. We got about 10, 15 more minutes.
Okay.
Question. Meditation. So meditation is starting to become a big thing. People are doing a lot of yoga and Pilates and meditation. So for me, when I tried to meditate, it lasted all of about 2 seconds. I can't get my mind to focus on my mind. Like I'll say, okay, bring it back. I even got I have the exercise mirror, and I got a person who can even walk me through, meditation and to help me bring it back. But I can't stay back longer than 1 minute. Like I can't even go a whole minute without thinking about what I need to do. Child, instead of sitting here, you could be such and such and such and such and right now. You do know that you got shit to do today, right? And you sitting here on this floor, crisscross applesauce, talking about in pain because your legs hurt. Talking about you going. So talk about meditation and what it is. How do you do it? What do you get from it? Is it necessary?
Whew, this is my favorite, and I'm here to dispel all the myths. Okay,
Okay.
you don't have to sit crisscross applesauce.
Oh, okay.
let's, let's knock that one out. Okay, you don't have to sit crisscross applesauce. There are a few meditation poses that you can do that are going to support your body, right? Your needs of your body frame. I don't always sit crisscross applesauce. Sometimes I sit on the side of my bed and meditate. I tell people all the time, I meditate in the grocery store while I'm grocery shopping.
How you do that with all that distraction going on? And I'm looking around like, first I gotta watch my purse, then I gotta why she let her kid run around here like this, and why
Yeah,
they don't have this on the shelf. Like, how can you focus?
but so that's the thing, right? Meditation teaches you to tune out distractions, but you're still mindful of what's happening around you, right? You're not so tuned in to the little kid running through the store screaming, but you're noticing that they're running through the store screaming. So meditation is about consistency. So I hear this challenge from people all the time. I can't sit more than 2 seconds. I can't sit more than 5 minutes. And then we give up.
Yes.
Well, I can't sit that long, so let me get up. Let me just go do something else, right? But meditation is a progression, right? First, you have to learn how to sit with yourself. In this culture that we're in, the Western culture, we don't sit. We are go, 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 go,
Yeah,
right?
we got stuff to do.
Example of what happened when we were all sheltered in place, right? And now it's I can't go to work, I can't go to the gym, I can't go outside, I can't take my kids here, I can't hang out with my friends. I gotta sit with myself. And that's where we saw this big splurge of individuals wanting to come to therapy. Because now they're saying, I thought I handled this.
Yeah, I can't
What
go.
happened? Right? And that's because we're on the go. We're not sitting with ourselves. So meditation makes you sit
See
with
that.
yourself, right? And boy, when we start that process, we learn that I don't like sitting with myself. This is scary. What is on the other side of it? That's me. I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks.
Right.
So I'm gonna run away. I'm not coming back. No, I'm gonna go do my to-do list, right?
Yeah.
The more you're consistent, the more you sit with yourself, and you're in meditation, what you're doing is sitting down. You can set a 10-minute timer. And a good place to start is do a guided meditation. Find a guided meditation. There are so many apps like the Calm app. I think the Balance app. You can go on YouTube, type in meditation, and just sit. Okay. Instead of trying to focus at first, sit with yourself. See how it feels to sit with yourself.
Right.
Right. Notice what comes up in your body. Do you feel anxious? Do you feel jittery? Do you feel nervous? Are your thoughts just running and running and running? Right.
Yes.
But what you're doing is you're not tuning in. Okay. You're not saying, oh, my stomach hurt. Why my stomach hurt? Oh, I don't like the way my stomach feels. Right.
Yeah.
You're saying, oh, okay. I feel the bubbly. I feel the nervousness. I feel the butterflies, whatever's happening. Okay. Continue. So the one thing I tell my clients is to focus on your breathing. Okay. Breathing is the object. Okay. So if you were looking up at something on the wall, it's like a picture, right? You're focused on the picture. Breathing is that picture, right? And you always bring yourself back to breath when your thoughts start to run too long or start flowing too long, or you all the way into next year thinking about what you can do next year, right? So what I suggest is to set a 10-minute timer, sit with self at first, then eventually get into the breathing, right? And so I'll teach you one quick breathing technique before we go.
Okay.
So we're gonna inhale.
Hold on, y'all better be doing this too. Y'all in Facebook land and YouTube land. Don't have me just
Oh
sitting here
my, trying to go fast.
doing this by myself.
Okay, so really quickly, inhale for a count of 4, pause for a count of 2, and then exhale for a count of 4. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now I'm gonna count, and then you can do it. Okay.
Okay.
So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 1, 2. Exhale, through your nose.
Oh, like look like I'm in labor.
4. I didn't mean to say through your nose. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth.
Like I'm in labor.
Exactly. And do a good one too, a good exhale. So, okay. And so you can do this during the day when you're at work. You can do this at school when you're with the kids. You can even stop your class and say, "Class, let's do a quick breathing technique real quick, right? Get everybody back on track."
Yeah.
You can do this at home, okay? So that's a quick, just a quick breathing count that you can do with your meditation. If you feel like the exhale is too long, you can shorten it. If you feel like the inhale is too long, you can shorten it.
And so what is the goal? Like, is there a time? Is there a, if the goal is, girl, you own it when you meditating for an hour, so is there a time for it, or?
It's not necessarily a time. And I think it pertains to the individual, right? So how do you feel, right? Versus before you started meditation, how do you feel now that you're consistent in it? Let's say you're a yeller, right? You were a yeller before because you didn't know how to calm your thoughts, right? And so your behavior, your reaction was to yell. But now that you've learned how to meditate, you've learned how to calm your emotions, you've learned how to think through things, now you're no longer yelling. And that might be your signal, your signal for, I'm doing better.
Right.
And so you have to set that intention, right? What is it that I want to get from meditation? And then once you reach that goal, then you know, okay, I reached that goal. Maybe I can set another one.
Good. Okay. This was good, Erika.
It was good. I wanted to say thank you for having me. That's what I wanted to start out with. I really appreciate it. Your story really touched my heart. And I'm still praying for you and your baby and your family.
Thank you so much.
I just love the way you took that energy and you put it into something else and something positive. I know you're like, I'm a comedian. I thought I was going to do something else.
Yes, I was going to be Wendy Williams, y'all. That was my plan. I was going to take her spot.
No, you never know where God is going to take you because there's a community that you need to touch. There's a community that you're supposed to be blessing. And so I extend all my heartfelt congratulations, gratitude. I love it. And I'm here for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's being a mental health advocate. It was so funny the first time somebody referred to me as an advocate. I was like,
that's exactly what you are.
It's a honor. And I never thought, oh girl, don't let me get these tears going because I put makeup on for y'all. I never thought that I didn't see this for myself. I did not see this. This was not part of my plan.
Oh, I tell you, what I say in the beginning, it's not our plan.
It's not my plan.
It's not our design.
It's not my plan.
Right.
It was God's plan. And I'm honored to have it. It's a very heavy, and because you deal with clients every day. I get to, kind of pick and choose what I want to, deal with sometimes, but it's a heavy thing. And so I commend anybody who advocates for our mental health community, especially with our community, because we still got that child, ain't nothing wrong with me, child, ain't nobody, let me just smoke me a joint, girl, that'll make me better, we still have that stigma on us. And I'll be so glad when it's at a point where people are not ashamed and they're able to accept whatever type of treatment. And that's why I wanted you to come on here, the nose running and the whole nine.
It's okay.
So I wanted you to come on here because our community feels that the only thing that mental health professionals want to do is give us drugs. And there are a lot of medical professionals that give us drugs. Yes, they do. But I wanted you to come on because I wanted people to see that there is more than one way to cope with mental health and mental illness. This is not the only way. not knocking pills. Like, some people are okay and they're happy and their medication is working well for them. But even that, add on some holistic healing to go along with your mental health treatment, because I do agree. It took me a long time to agree that I agree that the energy that you put out, the energy that you allow in your space, the foods that you put in your body, the thoughts that you put in your mind affect your mental health. So that's why I have you here, so people don't think I'm crazy. I'm gonna let y'all hear it from a professional.
Yeah, you are not crazy at all. You are not crazy, and don't use that word. Right? You are insightful. You are gifted. You have been given a blessing to seek out the people that you bring on this show, and so you may not deal with it every day, but you have a gift to bring the people in that can support you and support this effort that you're putting out.
Thank you so much. So, I always end on a higher note, even though ours has been pretty high anyway. But I always end on a little bit of a higher note, because I just be curious to know, sometimes about people. And LaDacia, I see you. Thank you so much. She said, "Oh, we love you, Jackie. So grateful to have met you." Yes, I'm so grateful to have them in my life too. If you had triple times the money that you have now, quadruple time. If you were that cat in Chicago that won that $1 billion Mega Millions lottery, what would you do with your money? What would you do? Money's out of objects. What would you do with it?
That's a loaded question. Because I'm in a space in my journey where I kind of want to go to the mountains and just live in a cabin. So I would definitely give some money away, right? To one of my favorite charities. But for the most part, that money will probably be sitting somewhere in a suitcase. Because if I want that much money, I'm out.
You out? You out?
I'm gone.
You gone?
In my cabin.
You gone? You in your glass cabin?
That's a good question. I love it.
It is. And I always ask people, what they would do. And no one's ever asked me, but girl, I bought Usher. I will go to the Usher concert every day of the week.
That's my man.
Girl, we go together. He cheats on all of us because he go with so many of us.
He do.
But I love me some Usher. I will go sit at an Usher concert 4 days a week.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
I love me some Usher. You hear me? Everybody knows how I feel about some. I wish I could go see this new residency that he has, but I gave him my money twice in 1 week. Ooh. Earlier this year. He ain't getting no more this year. Unless I can use him as a tax write-off. He ain't getting no more this year. But I love me some Usher. That's what I would do with my money. Let's see what she say. If I had triple my money, I'd have like $30. You so silly, girl. She trying to say she broke.
Right. None of us are broke. That's a spirit, honey. That's a spirit.
Right. So I appreciate you, girl. Let me throw up my disclaimers, all of my things here. Y'all know how this, oops, here it goes. Y'all know how this thing works. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really trying to grow this podcast and get this word out. So for those of you that are new and are watching, if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, I need you to subscribe. I was trying, I'm new to this thing. I told you somebody dumped this on me. So sometimes I don't get the verbiage correct. Subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. They also said I got to get people to watch it. So watch it too. If you didn't watch it on if you didn't watch it today, rewatch it on Facebook so I can get that going, y'all. We want to get this thing out there to the people because it ain't for me. It ain't for me. It's for y'all. Like, well, it is for me too, because it does help me as well. But it is for you all. The goal is to get this word out about mental health and mental illness and get people in the healing mind state. Get them in the healing mind state. If you know anyone or if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can always email me at mission for mental health at gmail.com. You know, I believe healing is in the conversations. So as long as we're conversing, we're doing some kind of healing. So if you want to be on the show, hit me up, mission for mental health at gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on all my social media platforms. You can follow me on Instagram at Mission for Mental Health. You can also follow me at JR Mission for Mental Health. So I thank all of you for tuning in with me today. I am so grateful to you, Erika, that we finally got to do this thing, girl. Yeah. I'm talking about y'all. I met Erika in July. So she has been around for a while. She busy, y'all. She busy. Also, keep in mind, if you are interested in her services, go onto my YouTube page and all of her information, her links and everything is in the bio. So make sure that if you're looking for services, reach out to her. Reach out to her. Y'all help the sister grow her virtual business. It sounds like she can heal y'all. I might call her myself. Y'all sound like she can get you on a good little diet plan if you look for it.
I do a little something.
Get your chakras in line.
I heard I'm kind of good at it.
Get your chakras in order, y'all. So yeah, so you guys, hey, enjoy your week. Let me look at these last few comments. Of course, we love to share. We love to share. Shay P. Hi, Erika. Shay says, hey, Erika. Hey, Erika. All right. And JD said, love this. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, JD, for watching. I appreciate it so, so, so much. Let's see. Megan Parrish, love this. Thank you, Megan. I love you too. Thank you guys for watching. So tune in next week. I will see y'all. Enjoy. Erika, stand by for me, okay? All right. Y'all have a good one.